for people that are in your industry, should they have this fear, and are you seeing this fear throughout the industry?
Not really weeding out the people who aren't serious faster. Because if you're not a good salesman, if you're not putting in the time to learn about health insurance, you're no better than what somebody could type into ChatGPT and get an answer. You have more professional knowledge that's using AI versus just using AI to kind of try and develop something.
Hello, and welcome to an episode of Executive Intelligence. We are here with Dan Maher. He is an external benefits strategist for Southern Health Insurance. Dan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And by the way, I'm your host, Dagen, Dagen Davis, and we're going to get right into this. And really, the theme of this show is going to be business leadership meets artificial intelligence. So that's really what we want to nail down on eventually. But at the very start, Dan, I'd love to learn a little bit more about Southern Health Insurance and what you guys do.
Well, we do health insurance for small businesses, individuals, and families. Where we fit is on, I'm going to say, healthy individuals, healthy businesses, healthy risk pool, where the premiums no longer make sense to what the usage is. So a lot of people are put into situations where I just started a business, I just bought something, I don't really know, I just got what I normally am used to having. And then as time goes on, nobody went back and looked at, hey, now we have 4 people, 5 people, 10 people. Does this strategy still make sense? So I'm able to look at everything that's on the marketplace, private health insurance plans, association benefits, or traditional plans, and make sure I'm getting um, the lowest rates, but also taking care of the coverage that people need.
Okay. And then your ideal client is small business. How many employees do you get up to on a normal basis?
I can do from 1 to 200. The sweet spot where we save the most money is usually in that 10 to 20 space. But anything um, really, even if it's just the owners that need coverage, I can help them out until and grow as they grow.
Okay. So let's focus on that 10 to 20 space. I know we probably have a lot of people that are watching the show that would necessarily fit into that space. What are you what would be is there a specific industry that you work with or industries, or it's just wide open?
It is wide open. I tend to save the most money in construction and restaurants,
Okay. And why is that?
just because they have a transient workforce. Some of their fields are higher risk, and just because let's just say a roofing company, you're covering several guys who are on the roof, but you also have 10 to 15 people who work in the office who aren't in a high risk space. We can split those two groups, covering both people for risk and for what their needs are. So
So
instead of everybody being charged for I'm climbing up on the roof, but I'm a 55-year-old secretary, doesn't necessarily go in the same lanes.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and that's something you normally wouldn't think about, as a business owner. You just think you need to cover everyone. So is that mainly what you're doing, is you're going in and you're consulting and trying to pick that apart, with these businesses?
Yes, and I mean, in a group of that 10 to 20 space, usually there might be 2 or 3 who are in the high risk category, and we get them something that covers them, and everybody else something that more closely aligns with their risk factors.
Okay. Is there a almost a dollar amount average that you can expect on a situation like that on savings, or even a percentage?
It depends on where they are and what they're doing, but 20 to 50% savings is what I've seen. We helped a manufacturing repair company, so they went out and they repaired machines after they were installed, or if they had any issues. We saved them 20 grand on their annual premiums. So figure half of that went to the company, half of that went to the employees. Should make people pretty happy.
Yeah, that would make me pretty happy. That's for sure. So why are the big companies, I think I know the answer, but why are the big companies not taking, the big insurance companies, that if you're working with one of them, why are they not taking the time to really go through all these little details? Is it just because they're profiting more?
Well, they don't like businesses under 20 people. So they tend not to, they just say, we don't have an offering for you. This is what we have, take it or leave it. They're focused on the 200 to 10,000 employees where they're making millions of dollars without really lifting any fingers.
Okay. Um, as far as if I'm a small business owner, and I'm looking into healthcare, what are my biggest challenges when I'm first looking into it?
When you're first looking into it, your biggest challenge is going to be if you speak to a broker, is being shown only one lane. So they will show you either United Healthcare or Blue Cross Blue Shield, typically. If those don't work, they might go down to an Aetna or a smaller regional carrier. But in general, they're pushing you into one lane, say this is what it is, and they might give you 30 different options. So you think you're looking at a lot, but you're really looking at the same company with the same structure. You've got to pay 50% of the premium, 75% of your people have to accept it. Um, they are very inflexible as far as what you can do. Where we come in, we can look at an ICRA or individual contribution health reimbursement account, which is able to, the owner just says, we're going to give you X amount of dollars. You go out and find your insurance. And then we set that up so that they're still getting their $200, $500, whatever that contribution is, but they're also getting what they need. So, um, John, who just got married, is about to start a family. He has different needs than maybe that 55-year-old secretary who is not having kids anymore. Um, Maybe it's just her and her husband, where we're able to not pull everybody to the same plan because that secretary doesn't need maternity benefits, and likely the younger people have less risk pool as far as health conditions coming up.
Yeah, that makes sense. So are you seeing a rise in these HRA plans?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, just because it makes sense for everyone all around.
Yes, because
Okay.
I mean, if you worked for a small employer, let's just say 10 people, and somebody had cancer or heart attack or one of their kids had an accident, your rates are going up next year. Right now, what I'm seeing for construction companies, contractors, their rates are going up 40 to 60% year over year. And that's already on top of the 40 to 60% that we've seen the last 3 years.
Okay. So, like anything else in running a business, would you say healthcare isn't necessarily the problem? It's more of the strategy of
Yeah,
the way that you look at it?
yes. And really what it is people just look at it as like I have one contractor, he's a friend of mine, and it's like one thing I never want to touch is I never want to touch the benefits. I just give it to somebody and they tell me what I need and I buy it. That might have worked 10 years ago, but now the way that the deductibles are going up, the contributions are going down as far as what the insurance will pay for, and the rates that the hospitals have contracted. Um, I've seen families of four, healthy, low use with premiums as high as $4,000, where we're able to go in, restructure that, drop it down to two. So we save $2,000. That's $1,000 per employee plus for the company and for the employee.
Okay. So, as far as costs year over year, I know you touched on that. Mainly, if there's a claim, then the costs are going to go up. But is that normal? Where on the flip side, if there aren't any claims, is it still going to go up for the
It's
business
still going
owner?
to go up. It's
Okay.
going to go up less. You're going to be on that maybe 30 to 40% increase, but you're going to see an increase year over year.
And what's driving that increase?
It is the hospital networks. And a lot of times it doesn't really have anything to do with you. It's how much usage is used in your area. So if you're outside of a major metro area, so like here where I am in Fort Worth, I'm probably 60 miles from Fort Worth. Um, we're still getting charged based off of Fort Worth sees XYZ increase in usage on their health insurance plans across everybody who has a plan with Blue Cross Blue Shield or United Healthcare.
Okay. Are you seeing some of your customers, are they having trouble getting their employees to jump on to the benefits?
Depends on their age. I'm going to say under 40, they think they're invincible and don't need insurance. Once they start turning, I'm going to say probably between 35 to 45, they really see it as a value. So getting people to participate is really based off of, well, if I'm going to spend $200 a month and I never go to the doctor or never had an accident, $2,400 a year, that's too much for me. Versus I have somebody who has one accident and I just saved $1 million because I didn't have to pay for all those surgeries out of pocket.
Okay. Now, I know that healthcare is often the second largest expense after payroll a lot of the times for
Hmm.
the small businesses, especially. And so, are does your company charge anything, or are you charging anything on top of the healthcare benefits or the package that you're selling for your service?
I do not. I get paid by the insurance company. So
Okay.
whatever plans we choose, that's who's going to pay me.
Okay. Great. So, there's no extra consultant fee or anything
No.
like that. Okay. So it's pretty straightforward. Now to jump into our overall theme, now that we have a pretty good grasp of what you do and how you can help small businesses. Um, when it comes to AI, are you guys utilizing AI at all? I know that can be a touchy subject because healthcare and all the regulations and things like that. But how are you guys utilizing AI right now in your industry?
But what I can do is I can take their health plan and I can compare it to what's being offered and it can tell me these are the recommendations that I make. I can really look at their data. Where healthcare should start seeing um, some savings is healthcare having a healthcare I don't know if you want to call it a bot or somebody that you can talk to, where you can put in a lot of the minor things and it tells you what um, solutions might be. Not that it's replacing a doctor, but it is something that's monitored by health standards and gives you can eliminate a lot of the long-term problems because you took care of them earlier.
Yeah, and then also, a lot of the times I've had this issue where you gotta wait, several months to see a specialist, or you have to travel pretty far to see one faster, and so that could really help with, some of these, underlying, conditions and different things, different healthcare issues. Um, how far out do you think we are from seeing a system like that people can trust?
I would say 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
That with like everybody is in like I feel like when I'm talking to business owners, especially the self-employed, everybody is leaving their corporate job to go out and start an AI company. So you have doctors who are starting AI platforms that are designed specifically for this situation.
Great. Okay. Yeah. So then it's just a matter of getting the regulations down and making sure everything, all the checks and balances are there. But the intelligence should be there.
Yes.
Awesome. What other ways are you really just using AI as a tool in your industry to kind of speed different processes up?
Yes, like finding companies like lead resource. finding the leads, finding the companies and the owners, and who's the decision maker. So that gets me to the right person faster. It also gets me better information when they say these are the issues that I have. I can put those into chat or Claude and say what are the recommendations, and it can give me. Sometimes it says they're in the best situation. Sometimes it says look at these three other options.
Okay. In your industry, kinda maybe a touchy subject with everyone kind of getting, worried about, losing their job to AI. Do you find in your industry that the, uh, people would rather shop online for something like this, and just have a smooth process on the internet? Or would they rather be talking to someone like you and have something personable and a customized strategy?
I think they want to talk to a person because I won't say most people, a lot of people, sorry, my lights go out. A lot of
No
people
problem.
don't, a lot of people don't trust AI yet. That, like even I use it for creating posts on LinkedIn, and sometimes it goes off on a wild tangent of that's not the question I asked.
Yep.
And you you type in that's not the right answer. And it's like, oh, you're right because I did this instead.
Yeah, I think I generate some things for even for the podcast here, like the show notes that I sent over to you, the structure of the show. We review that very carefully, but we use AI to help us generate that the show flow and exactly what we're doing right now. But we've come across mistakes and we've come across things where it just didn't even pertain to even the industry that you're in. There
Yeah,
would be a question that's just out like, out of the blue, crazy, and so, we go through and we correct that, but I think it would be, kinda interesting, if I didn't prepare, for this and I came in and I just started reading off the questions and it ended up being, a random question that just didn't make any sense, that wouldn't look very very good, so I can see how that can affect your job and what you're doing.
yeah, and you wouldn't want that in a health situation where it's telling you the result for I don't know diabetes when you're asking it about heart disease.
But yeah, I can't that could be way worse. I mean, a podcast I can edit, right? You can't edit health. After things have already happened, so it's can get pretty crazy. But, Dan, we're halfway through here. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we will be right back.
All right, thanks.
Hi, everybody. Dagen here. If you're seeing me talking to you right now, that means that this commercial ad spot is vacant and it's available for your company in your area. It will only show to your area. So please contact us today at dagenmedia.com if you're interested in becoming a sponsor. All right, and we're back to our episode of Executive Intelligence, where business leadership meets artificial intelligence. We're here with Dan Maher. And Dan, we're going to jump right into another question if you're good with it. So AI, what we're learning is maybe AI won't replace advisors, but will it may replace advisors that are not using AI. Would you agree with something like that?
Yes, because like unless you have a really long relationship with somebody, you're not going to have you're, you're not going to have the ability to make quick decisions for them and give them relevant information um, to both their business and how the insurance world is changing.
Okay. And then we know that you're not directly managing people within your setup, but could you explain to us what you have under you as a structure and then how you're supporting them?
Sure. So I have other independent agents who are working really with the same products or in the same process, and just whenever they come across more complicated cases or need some additional resources, that they reach out to me, and in order to get better answers, um,
Okay.
just based off of experience
Right,
between the
right.
two.
And that's a great structure to have too, someone to be able to communicate with that has the experience. So that's awesome. Is AI incorporated in any part of your communication with them?
I'm going to say absolutely. Just keep things organized. A same structure, whether it's a weekly meeting or a weekly email, that they know the information that they're going to be able to get, and then gives a strong place for them to get uh, answers to their questions.
Okay. So as a business leader who works with small businesses a lot, would you say that the small businesses that are waiting on AI and not jumping into it just yet are going to really fall behind?
I think they're already behind. 3 years ago was the time to like start playing with it. Now AI, um, given proper instructions, is so much stronger in the answer. Instead of it's here's what I wrote, make it better. It's give me XYZ with exact specifications of what you're looking for, and it can go out and find those, versus just trying to make what you write better or
Okay.
your questions better.
Yeah. So, how did since you touched on this on your last answer, when and how did you get started with AI?
Just on that is I do a lot of individual outreach, and my messages tended to sound exactly the same. So I would put in just exactly that. I think the first one I used was Ask Jeeves or Jiva, something like that. And I would just type in, this is what I wrote, make it better. And it would give me back something that was so much better and sounded closer to what the communication needed to be, um, eliciting better responses.
For specifically for outreach, correct?
Yes,
So, like outreach scripts or what you're sending out.
scripts or individual messages.
Okay. And do you normally utilize LinkedIn for that, or is it multiple platforms?
Primarily LinkedIn, but then I use Apollo IO for cold outreach,
Okay. With emails.
emails, phone calls,
Okay.
all of the above.
Yeah, I know that you are very good about staying on, someone with a lead, and but also not being annoying in any way, because I've worked with you. Yeah, I've hired you for your healthcare services in the past. And still to this day you check in with me every once in a while to see if I need anything. So I know that you're on top of that side of the business, which is awesome.
Yep. Thank you.
So there's a huge, like like we were talking about earlier. There's a really big fear about AI with people losing their jobs, AI taking over everything. I personally don't think it's going to be like that. I think there will be some kind of regulation or something that kind of cuts into that. Recently, we've heard that some of these larger corporations that fired 30,000 people just a month or two ago are bringing most of them back because AI was more expensive than the actual employee and having someone in person. And that can be a multitude of things. That can be cost. That can be the fact that they're not doing the same amount of business. If you fire a salesperson in a uh, in a business where it's the sales is really based on in person, face to face business, then you're going to struggle, right? So it could mean a lot of different things. But in your industry, for people that are in your industry, should they have this fear, and are you seeing this fear throughout the industry?
Not really the fear of being replaced. It it is, I'm going to say, weeding out the people who aren't serious faster. Because if you're not a good salesman, if you're not putting in the time to learn about health insurance, you're no better than what somebody could type into ChatGPT and get an answer. You have more professional knowledge that's using AI versus just using AI to kind of try and develop something.
Okay. So the same exact thing that we were talking about with business owners, the employees in your industry and every industry should be already learning AI and how to use it as a tool.
Yes.
Okay. So the companies that embrace AI won't necessarily have fewer employees. They'll have more productive employees. Would that be fair to
Yeah, I
say?
think they'll be able to go further faster.
Awesome, awesome. So do you have any other predictions other than the the big one that you had that, maybe this is gonna help on a day-to-day basis with people who can talk to a chatbot that's very, qualified?
Yeah, I think it should overall bring down the cost of healthcare. And for companies who aren't just riding the "this is what we've always done" train, they're going to be able to see what their expenditures are on healthcare drop significantly.
Well, that's great to know. I know, just going to the ER for, something that isn't life-threatening can really hurt your wallet, these days for
I
sure.
mean, you're probably going to pay 3 grand to walk into the ER visit, and that's for them to take your temperature and blood pressure.
Yeah, that's it's kind of getting out of hand, and I think there's a lot of people, whether you're in the healthcare industry or not, that agree with that. So, it just seems like AI is going to really help with, like you said, cut down on the expenses for that, and really just kind of understand what's going on before you have to escalate things and go in like that.
Yeah, and it's also going to open you up to more alternative therapies that could produce better or faster results than waiting to the point where you actually have to go on medication or um, diet or lifestyle restrictions.
Okay. So Dan, I know we talked about a lot here. I just wanted to see if there's anything that you would like to promote on your end. Is there anything you would like to add for your business and what you're doing?
But just anyone who is looking at how can I save money or reduce costs on healthcare, whether it's one person or 200 people, let us take a look. Um, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost you anything to say, okay, I'm in the right place, but accepting a 20 to 40% increase every year, and passing that on to your employees. Or I talked to a company last week. It's like, we're not going to have insurance anymore, which pushes everybody to the marketplace. There are alternatives that fit, that don't make it look like you are eliminating healthcare. So if I'm an electrician contractor, I'm not going to go work for a company that doesn't offer health insurance, and that's going to cause harder to harder to retain the people that you're keeping. So retention and hiring are an issue. Healthcare is a key component of keeping that business in place or that relationship in place.
Yeah, that makes sense. Where can people find you or get a hold of you?
Um, you can get a hold of me at Dan at southernhealthins.com. Or if you want to look at a website, just see what's out there. It's not a sales site. It's healthbenefitconnect.com, and that will just show you kind of the things that we do and give you the opportunity to reach out to me directly.
Okay. And then in the description below the video on YouTube, I'll go ahead and make sure that these links are there for everyone for
Okay.
just a quick, easy reference. And we normally put your LinkedIn on there as well. so that if they want to do any research on you or reach out to you directly, they can do so. All right. Well, Dan Maher, thank you very much for being with us today and helping us out, helping us talk through the healthcare industry and how AI is used.
All right. You have a great day. Thanks.
Thanks. And that's another episode of Executive Intelligence, where business leadership meets artificial intelligence. Thanks, and have a good one.
All right. You too. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. Dagen here. If you're seeing me talking to you right now, that means that this commercial ad spot is vacant and it's available for your company in your area. It will only show to your area. So please contact us today at dagenmedia.com if you're interested in becoming a sponsor.